yesterday, and we'll be soon broadcasting this interview, but I was so moved by her story. Carlotta Walls was the youngest member of the Little Rock Nine. She was 14 years old in 1957 when she signed a petition that went around, would anyone like to go to Central High? She went to Dunbar, the African American school, but she knew that the resources were at Central High, so she signed up. She didn't even tell her parents. And then the fall came around, and 9 of these young people, I mean, she was 14 years old, attempt to go to the high school. They attempt once. It's right after Little Rock explodes. I mean, literally, the courthouse was blown up. The fire chief's car, they put a bomb under it. But still, the kids went. They tried once, but a wild mob prevented them. Then September 23rd, they tried again to integrate the school. She's 14 years old. They were turned back. But on that day, she described how a group of African American reporters from around the country, you know, from the Chicago Defender in Chicago, the Pittsburgh Courier, the Afro-American, from Baltimore, Amsterdam News from New York, who were covering the civil rights movement, were trying to cover them, and how they were set upon. And so often it's those with cameras, with the pens and the pencils documenting, that are first attacked. And they were beaten and they were chased. And then the kids went back for a third time. It's hard to think about the Arkansas, the Little Rock Nine as children, because how brave they were. And on September 25th, by then, after what happened to the black reporters, President Eisenhower called out the National Guard. They protected them. They went into the school. And Carlotta Walls was the only female member of the Little Rock Nine who graduated 2 years later. She left the next morning. She left that city of so much pain, yet of so much achievement. And it's voices like those that we need to hear all over this country. And she was at the National Conference on Media Reform and talked about the importance of having media that tells the stories of people at the grassroots who are engaging in these kinds of acts of courage, even now, even, what, more than 50 years later.
Our production team tells us that Article 5, going back to our first caller, John in Santa Barbara, an Article 5 convention is a convention to propose amendments to the U.S. Constitution.